Unfortunately, most women aren't as good at giving blowjobs as they might think, and there's some serious mistakes that you're likely making that are affecting your blowjob game. Trust me, I've had one too many bad blowjobs where the woman probably thought she was great and had the best of intentions. Fix these mistakes and he'll be telling you that's the best blowjob I've ever had. The first and arguably the biggest mistake is thinking that you give great head or thinking that he's satisfied just because he's orgasmed. I've had so many blowjobs that were really not very pleasant at all, but I was able to orgasm in the end. Just because he comes doesn't mean you gave him a great blowjob. If he's regularly saying to you things like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" or "Holy fuck, that feels so good," or he's regularly praising you about how incredible and amazing your blowjob skills are, then great. That means you give incredible blowjobs and you don't need to watch this video. But for the rest of you, if he doesn't seem shocked or amazed by your blowjob skills, if he isn't constantly praising you, then chances are your blowjobs aren't as good as you might think they are. If this is the case, then avoiding some of the mistakes in this video and my other videos is going to help you a lot. Honestly, it's going to take your blowjob game to the next level. But the other thing that you can do as well is to simply ask him what he likes. I'd advise you don't ask him what he likes in the moment. It's really awkward when someone's sucking your penis and they say, "What do you like?" Because you're in the moment just feeling things. You also don't want to hurt that person's feelings that's giving you a blowjob. And so a better time to ask is after the sex is over, when you're having post-sex chats. You can say something to him like, "I really want to get better at giving you blowjobs. What sort of things do you really like? Or is there anything that I can change or try differently?" And we can see if you like that. Approach it as an exploratory thing that you want to try different things. And that way, once you've had that conversation, then you can try things and then you can ask him in the moment, "How's that?" The second biggest mistake women make when giving blowjobs is simply a lack of enthusiasm. He can tell if you're not super into it. And giving a man a blowjob is as much about stroking his ego as it is about actually giving him pleasure to his penis. If she loves your penis and if she loves giving you head and you can really feel that as the man, then honestly, you can overlook a lot of the other issues that happen when women give blowjobs. I would much rather have an enthusiastic woman giving me a blowjob and I can see that she is absolutely loving it and having the time of her life, but her technique's not great, versus getting a blowjob from someone who has amazing technique, but you can tell they just don't really want to be down there or they're just doing it to appease you. Always, always, always the best oral sex that I've had has been through partners who love giving me head. In fact, they love it so much that they personally request it or they touch themselves and orgasm while giving me head. Ideally, you don't want to fake this enthusiasm because people can tell. You want to be genuinely into it. So try to find things about oral sex that you really enjoy and find ways to make it pleasurable for yourself, but also give your partner feedback that you're enjoying it. Make noises, talk to them, tell them how much you love their penis, how good they taste, how much you love them in their mouth. Move your body and arch your back and just let them see that you are loving it. And also you can show your enthusiasm by how much you get into it and how long you do it for. The third biggest mistake drives me fucking mad and drives so many guys mad as well, and that is just a lack of rhythm. So many people will give blowjobs and they go from going really fast and using their hand really quickly to then stopping and taking you deeper down their throat, but they're not moving back and forth at all. And then they get a slow rhythm going and then they start going fast with their head and then their jaw gets sore. So they come out and they're going really quick with your hand and then they repeat. And honestly, you're just sitting there receiving the blowjob going, what is going on? I can't get into this. I can't build up towards anything because it's just chopping and changing all the time. So while you don't want to just have one rhythm for the entire time, you want to add some variance in there. As you're building your man up and getting him closer to orgasm, then you want to find a consistent rhythm that you can maintain and that he likes. You don't want to push for a really fast rhythm with a head bob that's going to hurt your neck and your jaw and and you can't maintain. Find a rhythm that he's responding really well to, and even if you do need a break because your jaw gets sore, then keep the same sort of speed and rhythm with your hand and then eventually go back into it. Try to read his body and his moans and groans to find out what he likes, but if you're really unsure, you can ask him, do you want it faster or slower? That way he doesn't have to give you any complex feedback. He can just say faster or slower. And then when you get the right speed, he can say, yep, just like that. The fourth mistake is something that I feel like I need to teach to almost every woman. And that's not being sloppy enough, not having enough spit when you're giving a blowjob. Guys like their blowjobs sloppy, and things feel so much better when they're wet. I'm not just talking about saliva in your mouth. I'm talking about wetting your hand and wetting the shaft of his penis and maybe even his balls as well. When you're giving a blowjob and you're using your hand and it's dry on his skin, what can happen sometimes is the skin can pull and it can be a little bit painful, or it just doesn't feel as good as it could. However, if you get a lot of spit and your hand's completely covered in spit, the shaft of his penis is covered in spit, then your hand almost feels like an extension of your mouth. So as you're giving a blowjob, you can use your hand more and more, which is going to save your jaw strength, and it's just going to feel so much better for him. Seriously, it's night and day between a sloppy blowjob and a dry blowjob. So spit on your hand, and if you need to get extra spit and produce more saliva, one of the easiest ways to do this is to actually take his cock deeper down your throat. This will almost instantly start to make you produce more saliva. Or if you don't want to use his cock, then you can do the same thing by putting your fingers down the back of your throat. And the fifth biggest mistake, which is hurting way too many guys, is pulling the skin too far back. I think maybe there's a lack of understanding of the anatomy of the penis skin here, because what they will do is they'll actually grab the penis right up near the head of the penis, and the skin will stick to their hands because they're not sloppy enough. And then they'll start giving a blowjob and masturbating him at the same time. But what they're doing is they're pulling that skin further down. However, men have this kind of string of skin called the frenulum between the head of their penis and their foreskin. It's located on the underside of the head of the penis. I call it the banjo skin because that's kind of what it looks like. And the issue here is that as you move down, you're pulling this banjo string and it's getting quite tight, and it actually hurts as a man. And honestly, this happens to me so often, and women seem to be completely unaware of it. To overcome this is really simple, and there's two main ways to do it. What you can do, instead of starting up towards the head of the penis, release your hand, go down towards the base of the penis, and then grab it there. Then you can start your blowjob by pulling up, and then you can go up and down. Because what's happening is as you're pulling up, that banjo skin is kind of getting loose, and then as you go back down, it's not going to get over tight. The other thing that you can do is, again, make your blowjob sloppy, but as you slide your hand down on his penis, you don't want to be gripping so hard that you take the skin with you. You still want to have a bit of pressure so it feels good, but you actually release your hand a little bit as you go down, then you can tighten on the way back up. Release it as you go down, so that way you're not taking the skin with you as you go down, but rather your hands sliding over the outside of the skin and coming back up. Honestly, there's so many other blowjob mistakes that you want to avoid, but it would make too long of a video. So go ahead and check out this video to see some of the most common blowjob mistakes that women are making. Or if you want to really improve your sex life, then head over to my website at passionately.com. I've got a bunch of free resources over there about how you can be better in bed, and I've got some detailed courses as well. So if you want to learn how to be the best lover, check those out.